Good late afternoon. Chelsea won. Manchester United won. Carrick did the biz. Let's go. Evening, guys. Welcome. Maisie, how are you, my darling?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you, Mr. B? Good to see you again twice in one day.
I'm still smiling. Talk. How you doing?
Yes. Yeah, good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that result, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, are we happy? So I take it. We'll find out if the people in the chat are as happy as we are. I'll sit here. I'll give my little rundown of what I thought happened in the game. I'm more excited that the players worked hard. They worked to a system. I think everybody played to a level that is acceptable. I think Fred today was absolutely. I'm the first one to be digging out Fred. I dig out Fred every week, and I'm going to give Jackie's jacket. The last two games, I've seen a different Fred. Today, I thought he was immense. Talk.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. He was absolutely sensational. And I mean, you know what? Bar the odd one or two moments, 99.9% of his game was really, really great. Scott McTominay as well, in my opinion, had a great game as well. It's just, for me, yeah, look, we played really well. We kept them quiet. Unfortunate to give away a penalty like we did. But it's just, again, for me, it's that we need to work on this midfield, and we need to work on it hard if we're going to give ourselves any chance at having any control of it where we can actually launch attacks. We've got to work on that. And it's interesting that last night, as we mentioned, me and Monday, that Ranić has already identified a midfielder. Somebody he's already, I think, has worked under him, and so that tells you all you need to know. If the first player he's identifying is a strong, big, heavy midfielder, then say no more.
Maisie?
Overall, you know what? I was coming into this game extremely nervous because I thought, especially how we've been under Ollie, and I know we got that win over Villarreal. You was expecting, Villarreal and Chelsea's two different kettle of fish, and you know how clinical and technical Chelsea is on and off the ball. So I come in very nervous, but I was very happy with the team's performance. I think Fred, for me, was definitely a contender for man of the match. De Gea, he had saved quite a few saves there. We got kept in the game thanks to David De Gea as well. I think Matic was very strong in the middle of Scott and Fred. I think he really helped us quite a lot as well. So overall, I was very happy with the team's performance. In terms of the substitutes, I think Donny did come on a little bit too late for my liking. I think we should have put him on at the latest, the 80th minute, because we didn't get that much of that Donny impact. But it is going to take a long time to build up. We can't expect these instant results under Michael Carrick, and we definitely can't expect that win straight up against a very good clinical Chelsea team. So I'm happy we've picked up this point, and now we've got Ralph coming up. We've got this time now to start building the team, start making the team a lot more better ready for when we get this permanent manager in the summer.
I mean, does anybody know when Mr. Ranić is supposed to be actually coming in?
It's supposed to be in the next couple of days.
Yeah, it should be early early this week coming up now, some point, and then it should hopefully have at least. In May, I don't know if he can arrive tomorrow. When do we play? Thursday. He may have a day. He might get a day with the team to maybe just be a kind of a voice. I think that's all he can do in a day is be a voice. You know, but you know what? I'll take that. I'll take it. And you know,
Thursday.
He might. You know what? He might not even, depending on when he does arrive, he may not even put himself in the dugout. He may well just sit in the stands and observe and give Michael Carrick that game. You know what? If he thinks, look, you know, what's the point in him taking the limelight away from Michael Carrick if he's not had enough time to talk and work with the players and etc. You know, he may well do that. So out of respect for Michael, so we'll have to wait.
Sorry,
and see.
Respect for Michael. What? Why is Carrick earning the respect, bro? Ranick's Ranick. Carrick is Carrick. I'm not being funny.
No, but yeah, but look, what you know, the results before Michael took over were shocking. He's now had 2 games where we've come out with 4 points from 2 games where we were probably not expecting that. So for me, I think he's done a really great job, Michael. He really has. So
I do. I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
No.
Sorry to cut you off.
So what I'm saying is, you know, if you've got in there on the Wednesday, for example, you know, you go in on the Wednesday, you go and say hi to the team and the squad, introduce yourself, blah blah blah. You know, he's not going to be there long. He's not going to have enough time to start any kind of training session or anything. All he's going to have time to do is introduce himself. So for me, that's not enough for him to then step straight into the dugout. He's not. How can he do that? He can't do that, in my opinion. He'll have to sit this one out against Arsenal, let Michael do his thing, and then after the Arsenal game, the day after, that's when Ranić will take the first training session, and boom, we take it from there. But again,
I don't want that. I don't care if training's virtual. I want him to get on their back straight away, mate. I don't care. I don't care if he has to individually send them WhatsApp things of the tactics that he's going to be implementing. The sooner he gets his foot in the door, the better, from my opinion. I mean, today's game, is there... I mean, obviously, we all watched the game together. We've had the time to maybe digest it a little bit. Is there anything that you feel he could have done differently to start? Players he could have started? I mean, we all agreed with the Donny, him coming on for maybe a little bit earlier than he did. But is there anything that you feel that... Okay, first thing first, was there anything different today than what we have been doing under Ollie?
Maisie. I felt like we were pressing a lot more. That was definitely a key for me. I've seen a lot more pressing from Man United. I've seen quite a bit of pressing from Fred. I've seen pressing there off other players as well. Like Rashford pressed a few times, so did Sancho. I've seen a lot more pressing play. And this is something what a lot of people were asking for. They wanted Man United to press, and we screamed for it. And this is what we got. We pressed Chelsea quite a lot. And even though there was at that point where Chelsea did, as Mehdi said, that they did run us ragged, we still came very lucky to get that 1 point, because we got that extremely well to the point where they wasn't particularly good in the final third. The crosses weren't particularly good. Their shots on target weren't exactly good neither. It was just very easy for David De Gea to save, and that's because we put Chelsea into a lot of pressure. We were making them make the decisions very quickly as well.
I mean, yeah, for me, you know, our inability to commit players forward when in possession has helped Chelsea in their sustaining their attacks. So that's something, again, which is a massive weakness of ours. We can't continually go into games like that, because we're going to end up, again, like scrapping for our lives. You know, maybe getting one lucky break like we did there today. We almost had a second lucky break, but Fred decided in that moment that the best thing for him to do was to try and get it over Mendy's head. But you know what? You can't. I mean, look, we're shouting ball, but at the end of the day, when you put yourself in a pair of football boots on a football pitch in that kind of environment, you have a split second. And if he thinks that was the best option for him at that moment, then you have to accept that. That's the way it is. So again, for me, it's this midfield issue that is continually holding us back. It really is. And if we can sort that out, and no, Luca ran against Arsenal, unless he comes in tomorrow or latest Tuesday, if he doesn't and he turns up on Wednesday or even maybe Thursday, most definitely not. He ain't going to do it. There's no way. You can't. What? That's He's not, what to do? What exactly? He's not. He wouldn't have spoke to the team. Michael, who's been taking the training, Michael will be giving the instructions. What? He's just going to say, right, you stand aside now. I'm going to stand here. I don't know what you've been doing. What? He's going to get updates, running updates from Michael at the side of him while he's playing the game. No, it don't work like that, bro.
Sorry, this is a message from Solo. Just want to ask you, is this specifically today? Was this the question that I asked about the difference between what Ollie and Carrick was? I just want to see what the answer was so we can give you an answer to that, please. Bath time. Maybe bath times have answered him.
Yeah,
right. That's what I would have said.
Yeah, it was a team performance. It was a team performance because to press like we did and to put them under so much pressure and make those quick decisions like we did, that takes a team effort. So, I think if we wouldn't have done that, we would have been in so much more trouble. I mean, in terms of the stats, let's have a look at the stats while we're on this conversation. Possession, 66% to Chelsea. 24 shots to our 3. They had 6 shots on target. We had 2. They've had 15 corners to our 2, and it's quite even on fouls. So, considering 24 to 3, 66 to 34, and 6 to 2 to only come out with a draw, that means that we've worked really hard as a team to make them to make the stats, even though they're heavily in Chelsea's favour. We've worked hard to put the scoreline in our favour. So for me, that takes a team effort.
Mm-hmm.
It's a couple of disagreements on it. It's funny, you watch a game and people always see things. Yeah, people see different things. Is there anything, Maisie, that going forward you want to see from the team?
It's a good question, to be honest. And for me, right now, all we really need to do, we need to get a strong midfield, and we need what Ralph needs to do, and Michael Carrick, if he's doing that next game against Arsenal, he needs to pick what works best in terms of the midfield, because you can clearly see we've changed our midfield a lot. We've done the 3, we've done a double pivot, we've done it where we played the 5 at the back. It's just, we're not getting the grasp of this midfield, and we need to see what we need to do with this midfield we've got, because we've got good midfield talent here. So we need to look at what midfielders work well where, and we need to do it. We can't exactly just rely on the same players every single week if it's not working. And I think if we do strengthen on that midfield, it's going to help in terms of the attack. It's going to help in terms of the defence. So that is the thing what we just need to do right now going forward. We need to do this a bit of experiment now to Christmas just to see what midfield works best and then stick at it rather than sticking at a midfield what doesn't work.
I think for me, Michael will take a lot of heart from what he saw today from McTominay and Fred. For me, I think them two I probably will be starting the next match.
Can I say something to you? Go on. Can I ask you a question? Sorry to cut you off. You know my memory's short. I'm going to forget.
Go on.
We had a conversation. I kept saying maybe Carrick sees things differently than Ollie. Fred and McTominay today, as a pairing, I'm going to ask you what game you've seen them two play that well in.
I haven't.
People in the comments. A question for you guys. Fred and McTominay today as a pair, or they had Matic in there as well. Have you seen a game where they played better than that? And going forward, is this something that Ranić's going to be able to build on?
He needs to spend money, Mr. B, in January. We need to spend money in January to get at minimum one midfielder, but preferably 2. We've got to do it. We've got to, if we're going to give ourselves any chance of salvaging something out now from bringing this manager in, give him some additions to work with what he's already got. And we are going to release a few players in January, I believe. So, you know
think so? I mean, this is obviously...
Well, you've got to think about the World Cup, Mr. B. Think about the World Cup. The way the World Cup falls. There's not going to be much action in the in the summertime. So for me, it's going to be about January.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be our busiest winter window in quite a long time, just due to the World Cup. Because if you think about it, people now who's going to go into this winter transfer window think, I want a year to improve, to show to, if that's Gareth Southgate or if that's my friend, the France national team or Netherlands, blah, 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 that I've got this year to prove myself. If I played 2 crap months and then I play the rest brilliant, I'll get picked. But if they move into the summer and say, for example, they move from like La Liga to the Premier League, they need to grasp to the league for a start. So they'll take a lot longer. They may take about 6 months to grasp the Premier League, and they may not get picked because they've not been on that form. What you did notice in terms of who we think we might get, I know we did touch on a midfielder, but I think as well we need a right back, because I think we're relying on Wan-Bissaka far too much, and I don't think Dalot is starting 11 worthy in my opinion. So I think we need to really get a right back to strengthen on that, because I just feel like for me that I do like Wan-Bissaka, but there is them games for me where I feel like he needs to be dropped at the same time.
We can't win with Wan-Bissaka. To be honest, he made a great interception today from Werner. Great block from Werner.
And I'd say that he potentially cost us the game, because he caused that penalty at the same time. And a lot of people are going to be blaming Fred, but I don't blame Fred. I blame Wan-Bissaka on that poor challenge on Thiago Silva.
Agreed. Fred, I'm not going to have a bad word, because even though I know he passed the ball to Mendy at the end of the game, but that's not Fred's. If Rashford had done that, or if Ronaldo had done that, or if Jadon Sancho had done that, I probably would have been more pissed. That's not Fred's game, I don't believe anyway. So I'm not overly pissed with Fred today. I'm sitting here and I'm not disappointed. I know the stats. We only had 3 shots. Fair enough, but we were clinical with one of them, so that's all that matters. Chelsea could have had their 24. What I think they did do was give Chelsea the width, especially how we lined up today. I think they allowed them to get wide, and the fact that Chelsea probably didn't have Lukaku playing probably benefited us with the way that they played. The fact that they had little man Werner up there probably didn't help them too much. Didn't help them too much either.
Wonky Werner.
Yeah, your guy.
Yeah, listen, Werner, man, he's absolutely useless, isn't he? He's absolutely useless. So, I mean, you know what? But I think it's, overall a great team performance against a team that, like he said in his press conference or wherever he said it, he was public that he said they're gonna have to stop us playing. And you know what? They tried, really tried hard at that, because I think he knows as a manager, you're looking at Man United as a manager of an opposition team. You know that we're struggling in that midfield. So you put numbers in there, we're stumped. We're going to rely on either trying to push it wide with players who are not really cut out for taking the ball, carrying the ball up, and then putting crosses in, like Wan-Bissaka, like you said, Maisey. So he thought he was going to get the numbers in the midfield and outdo us in the midfield. But what he didn't count on was the fact that we were going to work hard as a team, and we were just going to be in their faces, and they're going, no, you ain't just going to walk through us. No. And we aren't going to just stand there like statues. We're going to be on you. And they didn't like it. It ruffled their feathers. So for me, it's a great result. And yeah, I understand what you're saying, Maisey, about the right back with Wan-Bissaka. Whether Dalot has got more to give in that position, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
I really don't think he does, to be honest, because I just feel like every game he has played for Man United, he hasn't just been there for me. He hasn't been good as a substitute for me. And I think I really wanted him sold in the summer, just because I just felt like he wasn't that player who we needed in that starting 11, because we want someone this day in the Premier League, you want a right back who's like Reece James, who's got it both, the full package. And these modern day right backs are more for going forward, but they're good at also as well defending when they need to. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, he isn't the best at defending, but he does have a very good centre-back alongside him, Virgil van Dijk. So that helps in quite a lot. So you do question if, for example, we did get Dalot, and then we had like a world-class a world-class centre-back next to him, maybe Varane, if he was next to him or alongside him at all times, would he be a lot better at that case then? And for me, I just really just don't feel like he is that good enough in my eyes, and that's why I would say that we do need that right back, because we can't. And it got to that point last season we was relying on like Tuanzebe as a right back when he's not even a right back; he's a centre back.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, it's I like the comment there by Bath Time. Was it Bath Time? Who was it? Who said it? It was Medemol. I have faith in Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and I'm sure he can improve his attacking skills. You know what? Yeah, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so that he can under Ranić, and that he can actually, be given. What he needs is Ranić to obviously sit him down and tell him and show him some clips and what have you about this is what your role's going to be. This is what I need you to be doing. And then he can go away in training, work on that away from training as well, separately, after training, before training. Get in there and work hard. This is what we need our boys to do now. We've got a guy in here now who is going to be showing them the template for success, right? And how to be, really difficult to play against. But then it's down to them to put the hard work in, because if they don't, it ain't going to work if you don't put the hard work in.
Mr. B, you're on mute.
Sorry. I'm gonna put something to you here. If Carrick stays, before everybody was saying about Carrick going, do you think Carrick has showed enough in these 2 games to warrant being kept on any member of staff? I'm not saying he's going to be his deputy, his assistant manager or anything like that, but the fact that he seemed open to changing a lot of things. I mean, Cristiano was dropped today. I mean, I wasn't on social media before, so I don't know what sort of reaction he would have got to that, but I wasn't surprised that Cristiano didn't play. And the fact that Carrick had the balls to do it, do you think that he deserves to stay on?
Look, you got to look at it this way. There's a way you got to look at this in 2 ways. The first way is Ori got moved on. The boys were upset. They had a point to prove against Villarreal. Michael's come in and made some good decisions. So that's a bonus from his side. Now then, we come into this game, but on the back of going into this game, the boys now know that Ranić is going to be coming in. So there is also a case of, I need to start working harder. I need to make myself stand out because I want to be playing in this team. So I think if that wasn't the case with Ranić, we were still looking for somebody, but Michael had still gone out today and got this kind of result, then I would be saying, well, look, you know what, it's hard to, how can you start, you got to start looking at this a little bit more closer, a bit more serious. But taking those 2 things into consideration, I just think it's too risky. And it's, I think he needs to, he may well stay on the coaching, he may well stay as an advising role maybe to the coaching that Ranić may bring with him. You just don't know, do you? And that's, at the end of the day, that's how it right. You can never have too many coaching staff to work with, because like I said, you're going to want to do some one-on-ones. You're going to want to do the group stuff as well. And also, looking for the players to do the stuff after and before training on their own, getting in there early, making it clear that, look, I'm hungry and I want to learn and I want to get better.
Maisie.
For me, in terms of Michael Carrick, you can clearly see that he has made them changes. What was different to Ollie, he's changed a little bit of the formation. He played Donny in the Champions League. He's played Sancho that a little bit more as well. So I think it's a complicated one, because I feel like with Ralph, he will be bringing his kind of coaches maybe from when he was at Leipzig. I think he'll bring in them kind of similar coaches. And then going forward, maybe it could be a good idea for him to stay on, maybe as we did mention, that consultancy role. But I don't think he will be actually as the coaching staff. I think Ralph will just completely change it all up and everyone will be gone.
I'll be honest, I don't care what he does. I just want us to bloody win. If
Yeah,
it means that,
that's
if
what
it means
matters.
that, yeah, if it means that Carrick goes, it means that he goes. I just think Carrick in these 2 games proves that he was probably being held back, or Ollie wasn't listening to him in certain things. I just look at the 2 formations that he played in the last 2 games and the variations on what he did. The fact that he was on the touchline a little bit more than Ollie, pointing and gesticulating, showing players where they want to be. I feel that I would like to think that he's got a role still at Manchester United. Maybe people will think, you know, Mr. B's talking shit, but my opinion, my opinion. If you're liking the stream, share, comment as usual. You see, we've got our regulars in here. Too much to mention. I've seen all of you. I've tried to get all of your messages up on the screen. Also, we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit that 1,000 mark, we will be doing a live draw. One of our lucky subscribers will be winning a signed Bruno Fernandes shirts. 1-1. As we close up, I'm delighted. I'll be honest, I'm sitting there, I've got a grin on my face. That's the result I predicted, and I've actually got one right for a change. It wasn't quite the performance that I wanted, but effort, commitment, dedication to the cause were all on show today. Moving forward, I think that Rangnick's got a lot of positives to work with. The players already, I would like to know what their running stats were for today, just out of curiosity. Maybe that's something that you could look into for me, Maisie. I'll be tuning into your show, so you can just give me a little snapshot. I would just like to curiously how far they run today. Can I have a little closing one from you, Talk, and then you, Maze?
I agree with you. I mean, I'm over the moon. I'm really pleased with the point. I'm pleased with the performance. I'm pleased with the team cohesion, the effort. I think the running stats will be up, from previous league games. And you know what? Listen, it's all looking good. We're putting ourselves in a good position for this guy to come in and take over. So I'm pretty excited. But like I say, I will stick to what I said about the Arsenal game. I don't think he's going to actually be in the hot seat for that particular game unless he comes in tomorrow. Then I can't see it happening. But yeah, I'm pleased.
Mm-hmm. And for me, I think I'm really happy with the result as well, considering I was expecting a lot of a different. Obviously, I'll never bet against my team for us to lose, but you always do have in the back of your mind knowing how it was in the past, and then knowing that we got that battering by Liverpool and we lost against Man City. I didn't come in confident, but knowing that the team, it wasn't about individual brilliance for a change. We wasn't relying on big names to actually win. We were actually played well as a team. The only thing what needs to fix up right now is the midfield, but the defense that was pretty solid. The attack where Sancho was on the counter attack, won it off Jorginho, was absolutely brilliant, and I love how Sancho is getting more and more confident by the day. And Michael Carrick is bringing us in a better situation, ready for Ralph now. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Ralph is going to take the team going forward from when he comes till the end of the season.
Okay, just a couple of comments I want to read off before we leave. Guna Ranger, hang on, I subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. That's not the prize I want. I'll be honest, nobody here is ever going to give you an Arsenal shirt. Anthony Herbert on here. Maybe you can get in contact with Guna Ranger and get him a Guna shirt. I mean, the countdown has started to the war that is Manchester United versus Arsenal. I'm expecting it to be spicy, a lot spicier than today's game. I'm expecting a lot of banter, which I expect Arsenal to bring, because that's what lesser teams tend to do to bigger teams. I'm expecting them to be confident. We have a couple of shows, probably a couple of extra shows. Melina, if you're listening, we're looking for you. Mr. Herbert, if you're listening, we're looking for you. Mr. Fox, we have a slot for you on the Friday show. Me and Talk will be waiting for you. So today is all about Chelsea. Chelsea won, Man United won, and a performance that, on the whole, I think we were happy with. Ranić should be in before the end of the week. Hopefully, Talk thinks he'll be in for the game after Arsenal. The only way to find out what we think on the panel and what you guys comment is to tune into the next show. Thank you for watching. This has been the Man United Agenda with me, Mr. B, MAISEY, and TalkMU. Thanks for watching.
Big up.